we create a particular resonance that the human being can then sit underneath and use that energy to basically source them in their healing, to source them in their consciousness. So it's kind of like upping the amperage. As we found with crystals, only in this case it gets a little more specific and very definitely more powerful.
And you'll see it in architecture, in the way that the sacred structures were created throughout the ages. There were very particular patterns that were there to raise consciousness, to bring that energy through for people to experience.
Hi, I'm Gregory Hoag, here today with my wife Gail, and it's 2021. You just saw a couple of clips from a television show in 1986, over 35 years ago.
Who would have thought? And the reason that we're still here and we've been so successful is because our tools really work. As a matter of fact, they've changed thousands of people's lives for the better. And we guarantee that 100%. So listen in to this interview with award-winning speaker and author Deborah Poneman. Enjoy.
But can you just give the uninitiated just a little brief introduction as to what sacred geometry is and maybe a little bit about your technology?
Sure. Sacred geometry is the understanding of how everything in the entire universe can be understood through number and geometry and pattern and rhythm and cycle. It's all interconnected. Time itself interconnects with the geometries of the earth and the moon and the different things that we create. So by working with sacred geometry, what we found is we can create a resonance. Just like a C tuning fork will resonate with a C tone, we can create geometries that resonate literally with the highest aspects of your being, your soul, that aspect of your creativity, where love comes from. And we can do that in a way where you can start feeling that frequency.
And it's such a beautiful way to get us to remember who we are, remember putting all the pieces back together of who we really are. And in this time where it appears as if everything is very chaotic, to hone back into understanding there's real rhythm and cycle, something we can depend on. There's foundation that we have in order to create that next evolutionary cycle of our lives and what we can contribute to the planet.
So how does your work create this ability to connect to that energy of the planet and maintain that connection? It's so mind-boggling because I know it works, but how does it work?
Maybe I can grab something here that is a head scratcher here in front of me. This is something, I don't know, maybe you've seen before. It really feels good after a long day. But when you take this geometry of just the long lines, there are 5 of them, and 5 short lines, watch what happens when I take the long one and vibrate it. You see all the other long ones vibrating?
Yes.
Now I'll take the short one and vibrate that. You see how all the other short ones are vibrating?
That's so cool.
And so when we have a geometry that literally describes the way creation is formed, I mean, from atoms to the photon of light that comes out from the sun, each photon has a geometry. It has a number. It has a resonance. And we can create a receiver that has a similar resonance and a similar geometry. And when we have that on our body and we work with it intentionally, we can start to create something where our body starts to resonate with light. It can start to resonate with the planet. We can work with different geometries where we can slip into the higher dimensional aspects of your being. You see, all human beings are multidimensional, but we only focus on this 3D reality. Now, when you're trying to create something, as you know, Deborah, we often go into a place where we try to feel good, we try to get into our heart space, we try to imagine what it is we want to create and be in that vibration of it already being created. Well, in the case of these geometries, what's happening is it's getting us into that place that is already resonating with the creative aspect of your being. And there are so many things in this reality with the toxins in the environment, all the things going on with electromagnetic pollution, 5G coming in. All these things are getting us to vibrate away from that which we know as our natural divine rhythm. And so we create tools, and they're called tools because they support you in the process. Like a hammer would help you build a house, but when you're done, you built the house and not the hammer.
So for much of our experience in our business at the beginning, we had, and you know, if someone goes to the website, you'll see these beautiful geometric structures like this here. And those are objects that really create an energy in the house or your office or your sacred space, whatever. And you can't take them with you. They're amazing to meditate under some of these. We wanted to create something that was with you on your body that performed the same kinds of functions as the geometries that we had been creating for many years. So that's where we went into how do we manufacture, how do we make a three-dimensional technology into something that each one of us can wear that would enable us to maintain that divine connection and experience that centeredness and freedom from all the chaos and distraction and all those things and the EMFs and 5Gs and all that that's going on in our lives. And that's where we came up with the technology of the Heart Companion.
Oh, that, you know, did I tell you the story yet about how I got turned on to this Heart Companion?
I'd love to hear it.
Sure.
I don't know if I did. Did I tell you about my friend Bill Farber?
Yeah.
I don't, because I think I've told it before, but I don't know if I told it on the air here. So I have this friend, and his name is Bill Farber. He's now in heaven, but he was one of the greatest healers on the planet, and he did this thing called energy waves, and he healed me several times. He actually saved my life twice. But he would always laugh at me because I was constantly showing up with new baubles and bangles that were supposed to like help me and help my evolution. And I was always, you know, into like the latest bracelet and the latest necklace and the latest, you know, contraption. And he used to say, Deb, really, you don't need that stuff. You could do it yourself. And then one day, he shows up with the Heart Companion and he says, you have got to get one of these things. And he starts telling me about sacred geometry. And he says I should get one for my kids and for my dog, which I did, because there's one for pets. And because anything he says, I so trust this man. I mean, I trust him with my life several times. And I've had it ever since. This is actually my second one. And the reason why people don't see them usually is because I have it inside my shirt, because I don't know, I like to have it next to my body. I don't even know if I really need to have it next to my body, but just where it feels good. But it's really beautiful. I should start showing it a lot. But I do not go anywhere without this. I mean, because I feel that it is protecting me from the energy that is vibrating in the planet, like 5G, like EMFs. I don't know if it really even does, but one time we were talking about muscle testing, and I don't know if you would do that for me and for my friends who are watching this. Could you show, maybe I'm putting on the spot, because I muscle test for everything. I muscle test for supplements. I muscle test, well, anyway, I muscle test for everything. But I would love to see a muscle test for the Heart Companion. Could you do that? I know you're a good muscle tester.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that. And then I'll show you a little bit more about the technology of what's inside. So Gail has her pendant off, and we're just going to take cell phone. Now be strong, and okay, now put this next to your head and be strong. See,
Oops.
there's nothing there. But if we take one of our pendants, and I'll just, okay, you can hold it in your hand. Now put it next to your head and be strong. Okay.
Wow, it's totally different.
See, it's so different. I take that away, put it next to your head and be strong, and it's impossible. And that's what happens. It's what happens with cell phones, EMFs, the toxins in our environment. Think of something that makes you unhappy or sad. And so all the fear, all the emotion, all the things we're hearing in the news, and that's what it does to us. It weakens us and makes us vulnerable. But when you have that on you, and think of the same thing that made you sad. Okay, you see, it's like what's going on in the world today, it's taking us into this fear almost automatically. People watch it, and if they're not in their heart center, if they're not connected to the core of their being, they get wrapped up, caught up into the fears, into the things that aren't working. Pretty soon people are feeling victimized by the world, but you're the one that's sovereign. You're the one that's in control of your life. And what the pendant does is it helps you realize that again, because it's literally, like, as you said, Deborah, it's protecting you from all those influences of fears, even within your own head, your own judgments, your own doubts, your own lack of self-worth sometimes starts getting overcome because you're feeling that love at the source come pouring out.
And I've got to make a comment about protection, because Deborah, you know, you and I had a little conversation about this, because I believe that when you are connected, then protection is not an issue. You have everything that you need. When you realize that you are a divine being that is fully connected, that your soul is eternal, then there is nothing to fear. There is nothing that you need protection from. Just like, you know, in the martial arts, when you find your center, then you're fine. And that's what this is really about. It's taking us to the place where we have that inherent empowerment and strength.
Ooh, I'm just getting goosebumps. And they're pretty besides, which of course is very important, the pretty factor. Now, did you say that you were going to tell us something about what's inside? Because I know people want to know where they could get these, but were you going to tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, what I would like to do is share with you a slide that shows you close up what it looks like and lists some of the things that we've done internally.
Okay, that would be awesome.
So here is a picture of the double-sided heart companion. It has two sides because one side is moving the energy down into your body, connecting you with the earth, and is more physical in its feeling. The other side, the star side, when that's toward your body, you're going to experience it more mentally, and the energy is going to be taking you out more. And there is your Pet Connect, Deborah, and we also have them for children, and things, pieces called the Advanced Eye Connect you can carry in your pocket. Well, all of these tools have geometries on the surface that are projections of three-dimensional geometries. So I found a way to take three-dimensional energy and bring it into a two-dimensional form. Also, we have the torus, which is the basic way that energy moves in this universe. I have over 9 different toruses inside the pendant and inside all of these. I have them made out of copper and fiber optic material and working with carbon fiber. There are alchemical mixes of different chemicals. We have circuit boards in there, rare earth metals. I am working with different types of antenna systems where I have certain lengths and twists, and then I have a photon generator inside that's moving energy through some of these tools, and I have an oscillating crystal that's vibrating at a very certain frequency. And all of these different geometries and different mixes are put together. And then what we do is, we talked about chambers on our land. These are some pictures of some of the chambers where we have geometries that are spinning, and they are inside large tubes with wires running around them, where we're putting different frequencies through those tubes, and the pendants or any of the pieces that we charge sit in there overnight. And we have forms over 20 feet tall that also connect in with these chambers. And we have a whole series of about 13 vortexes on a couple hundred acres in Colorado, where we direct the energy of those vortexes into these chambers where we have inert gases and different frequency generators and things turning. It's phenomenal what's going on here. And we, as you mentioned, Deborah, in the introduction, we are able to put this energy into an entry point also on our land into the grid system of the entire planet, and be able to move the energy anywhere on the planet and help bring resonance into the planet itself.
Okay. This is so phenomenal. I mean, I've just been wearing this because it feels good. And I know the difference when I'm wearing it, when I'm not wearing it. But this is such an education. And I know that people are chomping at the bit to know where to go to see the various heart companions that are available to them.
Let me first show you what's going on with your body. In this slide, what we're seeing is the energy field around your body that was taken from a study that was done by a scientist who worked with dozens and dozens of people in double-blind tests, where they found that here you can see on the outside of the body, the energy field has many breaks and holes in the field. And yet when they hold the pendant or the eye connect for just 5 minutes on their body, everything fills in. And all the holes are filled up, and literally the body, their energy field is fully radiant and strong. So that's what's going on with you that keeps other EMFs, other people's thoughts, other negativity from coming in. And another slide, like the one we're just sharing with you now, shows all the different internal organs of the body that's mapped by this machine called a GDV, which is produced by a Russian physicist. And here is the image of the internal aspects of the body before touching the pendant or having something on, and you can see the liver's very underactive, the spleen is almost shut down totally in the red zone in the center, and in only 5 minutes, every single aspect of the body, all the internal organs come into the normal zone, the balanced zone.
See, that's what Bill Farber was seeing, Deborah.
Right. Right, because that was what he did. He could just look at your body. I remember one time when I was very ill, and I thought, because I just asked him to heal me, it's a story that I share with my community. Bill Farber was the guy who said, call 911 immediately. Before I had my heart companion, but so he could see right into my body that this was something that that he was not going to be able to heal, but that I had to get to the emergency room. So he didn't fool around with anything that he didn't really, really, really believe in. As a matter of fact, he was a conservative guy. He was a lawyer by day and a healer by night. And he just said he had never seen anything like it. I mean, as soon as he saw he saw what it did, he immediately called me, his best friend, and said, you've got to get this.
This is one of our favorite forms, the 5G, and what it's doing is bringing through a clear connection to higher dimensional energies, which allows for the environment to overcome the negative effects of 5G, the electromagnetic field, even toxins in the environment. And what we found that we really love about this is it combines with other geometries in a very wonderful and powerful way. And what I mean by that is here, this is exactly the way we have it set up in our home, so that what I'm sitting on the edge of is a long lounge that we lie on frequently and put different geometries under this. Here's one of our favorites, which we leave most of the time, and it is Metatron's cube. So what we do is take Metatron's cube and put it on point underneath the 5G. Now, what that is doing is it's grounding, it's helping to set up the environment so things manifest more easily, so we feel more connected to the earth and present in what it is we're here to do and manifest. Another important one that we enjoy is the sphere of health. And this is a geometry that literally resonates because of the different angles in it with the earth and the moon. And that's something I've often shown people in some of my slides. When this is placed underneath the 5G, what we have is a dynamic where you start to have that connection going on with the bigger part of the earth and moon, and that allows you to slip more easily into a space of why are you here? That connection that is very healing. So it works with the emotional body, it works with the physical body as well. I like to put it so that the cross on the top and the bottom align vertically. And what that allows is for the strongest energetic dynamic to go on. That's the way I love to sometimes just lie here and literally just float into those higher aspects of myself, bringing through my intent in the process. That's always important when you want to create change in your life and your body. Now, another one that we all enjoy working with is the unity grid, which has 60 triangles. Each triangle is equal to the face of the pyramid at Giza. So working with that energy that the Giza pyramid is working with, and you're doing it multiplied by 60. Now this has a relationship to the phi ratio, which is working with your physical body and your body's health as well. But the way this is constructed with all of the triangles and the number of sides, it takes you very far out into universal connection. So that's what we love about the unity grid, is it is expansive in a universal way, and yet it is bringing you into that relationship where you feel part of the whole, part of everything that is, and that connection. Finally, I want to share with you the one that we all meditate under. And when I say all, I mean Gail and I every day meditate under the Merkaba of oneness, which is a remarkable form for higher connection. So when I put this under here, what starts to happen is a connection that is very much aligned with my higher self, and being able to download that information and move into a space of total calm and quiet inside, relating to all that is. So this is the one that, as I said, we enjoy meditating under, and lying here, it's a time to really go into deep relaxation and focus on the different aspects that I might be working on, such as opening my third eye or working with my throat or heart. And so these are the forms that we work with the 5G, and there are many others that also work clearly with it. Something else I wanted to share with you, of course, is that all of these geometries that we were working with can be used by themselves. We have ceiling spinners that they can spin on. We also have table spinners like the causal generator that works with all of these geometries independent of the 5G. But it's wonderful to combine all of the geometries together because of the added effects that happen. This is another one of our favorites, and it is the woven spiral star. The way we work with it is when someone is standing or lying down, you can sweep the body to literally cleanse the aura and to work with activating the different chakras. Sometimes I do figure eights. I can buff up the top like this. And if someone has, for example, a bad back, I've done something where we've faced this toward the body with the ring toward us, and then with a loud clap on a drum or putting intention through this like a filter, it will take your energy and move it to a higher level when you speak through it. So one of our favorite forms for working with healing, relaxation, and bringing things into balance and into order. Thank you.